Hey guys, welcome to another episode of No Crust.
Today we're going to be installing a radiator overflow on my 1966 Valiant VC. Let's get started.
Yeah.
Alright, so here we're going to install the radiator overflow bottle. Overflow bottles are used so that when the water in the radiator pressure rises, a little bit tends to overflow. You don't want it to just spill out. Put it into a bottle, and then when it cools back down, sucks it back up, keeps your water nice and full. Alright, so we're going to put this down next to the radiator on the guard here. We're going to have to drill some holes to mount it, this bracket, and then we'll cut and run the hose straight up to the radiator so that we can catch all the water that overflows. Let's get stuck in.
Right. So the first problem that we've actually run into here is that the bracket is actually shorter than the bottle. I don't know if you can see that. Yep, so we're actually going to have to rebend this and bring it forward so the bracket actually sits in front of the bottle, and then we can drill it in. Bending it, bring it back on there. We've changed the direction there, so that's looking a lot more flush to the bottle.
Stick it like nice and deep into the hole, and then just really work it around.
Nice.
Yeah, like you really want to get it right into it, and just really work it around. You know, like really just. Yeah, oh, like that. Okay, so we've mocked up where we're going to put the overflow bottle, and if you come in a bit closer here, you can see where it lines up. We've scratched a little mark in here and a little mark over here as to where we're going to drill so that we can put the screws through and mount this to the guard. Alright, so we've run into another problem. To drill in on this weird kind of angle on the guard here, there's a bit of a sort of curve in the guard where the alternator sits. We're going to actually have to take the alternator out of the way so that the drill can come in on the correct angle and we can make a nice neat hole in there. So let's take it out. Oh my god. Alright, so we've run into yet another snag, as tends to happen with these things.
This one's pretty shit too.
Yeah, we fucked up.
Yes, bad.
We fucked up. So we went to take the alternator out, as you saw before, and the bolt holding the alternator onto the bracket, onto the engine, last time I put it back on, I put it back in the wrong way. Which means when we try to take the bolt out, the bolt hits on the radiator, won't release from the bracket, and the alternator is stuck in there with the radiator.
Yeah, so now actually, just to show you,
we're going to have to take off the entire grill assembly so that we can then get into the bolts holding the radiator on. We're going to have to obviously empty the engine of water, and then we're going to have to pull the radiator out so that we can get this bolt here.
This bolt, that one
out
bolt.
From there.
That is it. One bolt, and we have to remove all of that. So this is going to be fun.
Let's do it.
All right. Got the grill, got the bumper out, we've got the radiator now also out. We have also removed the alternator. And now we can go ahead and start drilling in what the fuck we're doing from the start. So we've got our bits still there. Should go on nicely.
Alright, so we've drilled the holes and we've already screwed one side of the bracket in. So now we're just going to slip the overflow bottle into place and put the last screw in, and hopefully that'll all work. Alright, yeah, so it should be a bit stiff, but you're pretty good at handling stiff things. Alright, so as you can see, we've put the radiator back in, and before we did that, we just took out the old cooling fan. It just runs off the serpentine belt of the engine, just adds a bit of weight. We've got electronic thermal fans here that do a great job of cooling, so we don't really need it. So that's just an extra 500 grams of weight. And now the final part of the overflow bottle install, we've got to run the hose through up to the little port on the side of the radiator here. So what you want to do is get it to a good length. A bit longer is always better than a bit shorter. So that looks nice. You don't want any kinks, you don't want it pulling too hard. So all I'm going to do is just mark that with my fingers. Grab my tin snips. Cut the hose about where we want it. And now you can see I've already got the little hose clamp on the piece of piping. So all we're going to do is run this down, feed it onto this little port here, if I can do it. I'm not very good at finding the hole, if you've noticed. Ah, come on. Jesus Christ. Ah, is it getting there? I think it's just splitting the hose. So, okay, that's interesting. Sometimes when it's real stiff, you just got to warm it up a bit. Like, just use your fingers, like really just warm it up, and then it should slip right in. And if it's a bit stiff still in the back there, you can always just use a bit of lube, just to really help it out, help it on there, Ah, and you can see it work its way gently inside.
We've finally worked the nose or the hose up onto the top here. We've got the clamp just up there. We really actually had to work that on there. Use some pliers. And just pinched it real hard. Worked it up with the screwdriver. It was actually a pain in the ass to get up there. But we eventually did it. There. All good.
Alright, so we finished off the overflow bottle install. Took a hell of a lot longer than we were anticipating, but that's how things go on old cars. So now all we've got left to do is refit the bumper and the grille, and then we can refill the radiator and take it for a test drive. Okay, so unfortunately last night our cameras ran out of battery, but as you can see we've replaced the bumper and the grille. We've also refilled the radiator and we've taken it for a bit of a test drive, and the overflow bottle works.
Awesome. All right. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.